This is one of the ways that the syndicate was able to get surveillance into my house. This is a Sonatrol system. These things were set up all over the house. I paid a ton of money when this first started to have a Sonatrol system installed in order to prevent them, but I knew pretty quickly that that was a waste of money because of the connections the syndicate has. But these little things were set up all over the house for audio, so that if anything was wrong, then someone could hear and call the police and get help. So I disconnected those, and on that day, the girl down the street started having multiple people coming, and I know it's because she lost audio, because she couldn't hear anymore what was going on in my house. Maybe it was being used to actually submit video. I'm not really sure. I'm trying to speak louder because on all the videos I'm pretty soft, and it just happens to be that there's a yard guy going on right now right outside my window. But this is one of the things that I disconnected, and then I went up into the attic and disconnected the actual phone line, which is how the Sonatrol system was able to transmit if the power was cut. Now, you can see the damage from them going up into the attic. Now, this wasn't in perfect shape, that's for sure, but this is extraordinarily amount of damage, that meaning them going in and out. And I've tried to put up tape, and you can see where they just take the tape off. I mean, it's just for me to know that they've been in there, and they've been up in the attic. And that's where that security system's base is. It's not even supposed to be active. It hasn't been active in years. But that's a syndicate move right there. So the feds should be watching. They should be paying attention. They should care about how organized crime guys operate. And this is one of them. They'll go into an existing security system and use that, or they can hack it, but in this case it wasn't even being used, so they could just use it themselves. Because what I started doing, and this is something that I learned to do on the mainland in order to stop their surveillance of me inside my home, because I kind of got sick of them watching me in the shower and doing all these things. I mean, it gets old having your privacy invaded all the time. So then I would just cut off power to pretty much everything in the house, and then they couldn't see what I was doing or listen or whatever. But here in Hawaii, they decided to use the Sonatrol system, because the Sonatrol system, like I explained, actually has a backup component that goes through a telephone line, so that if you cut off the power, then it still operates and works. So that's why they got up in the attic, and then they were using that, and that's why I disconnected those little things that are all over the house, like that first one I showed you, and I went up in the attic, and I disconnected the entire box through the telephone thing. Now, I'm not a tech person, so I'm sure since they've been in here again multiple times since then, especially yesterday for an hour and a half, that they're coming up with other ideas of how to continue to do surveillance. And why do they want to know what's going on in my house all the time? Well, they want to prevent me from doing certain things. And one of those things is getting help. And the others have to do with my own personal life, and that they just want to continue to make it so I have no life and I can't do anything. So that's their purpose. So they can know when I'm here, what I'm doing when I'm here, when I'm leaving, so then they can come in the house. They don't have to have that girl down the street constantly sitting outside my house. They can just use stuff inside my house to know that. And you guys want to think I'm nuts? You go ahead. You have no idea. You have no idea what organized crime does.